Yo, so what is good, YouTube? We are back today with a brand new video, and for today's video, we are going to be doing a LaMelo Ball Warriors career simulation. Of course, that lottery did come out, and the Warriors actually have a pretty good shot at ending up able to get LaMelo Ball, and that would be one of the most interesting teams of all time, in my opinion, if it happens. So let's just see how it would turn out. Of course, smash the like button. If we get 100 likes on this, then we will be dropping Anthony Edwards' Timberwolves sim next. So here we go, number 2 pick. Obviously, we are going to take LaMelo Ball and see how his career will play out in Golden State. That's 6'8", absolute beast of a guard from Australia. A third Splash brother has arrived. And as you can see, the Hornets take James Wiseman as well, which is definitely an interesting little thing to watch out for in this sim. So here in year 1, personally, in my opinion, here's what we're going to do. I don't usually like moving stuff around, but we're going to put Steph at the 1. We're going to move Clay to the small forward position and put Melo at that 2 so they can all play on the floor at the same time. Because, of course, in 2K, you kind of do have to have actual positions, because it's more or less positionless basketball in today's NBA. But you see Melo, an 80 overall, absolute beast. Let's see how Season 1 works out. So in year 1 here, Luka Doncic gets regular season MVP, and of course our guy LaMelo Ball right there getting Rookie of the Year. I would expect no different, helping our Warriors get the number 1 seed in the Western Conference here. Huge season there, 32 points per game for Curry, and of course Melo in his rookie season already putting up 17.2 points per game. That is a scary sight. You see our 1 through 5 looking very solid here. Steph, Melo, Clay, Eric Pascal, and Marquise Chris is the only kind of sus one there. We got a first round matchup here up against the Memphis Grizzlies and Ja Morant, where it is going to Game 7. Of course, we will hop into Simcast and see just how this one turns out. Hopefully, we can make it out of the first round in year 1 of this sim. That would be huge to get Melo playoff experience early in this one. So let's see. It is looking very good as we have a pretty solid lead going into the 4th here, and it is a lock right there as we end up taking it 134 to 125. You love to see it. A 27-point performance from LaMelo Ball with 14 assists to go along with that. Second round here, we are up against the regular season MVP in Luka Doncic. We're taking them to Game 7, and yet again, we're going to have to go to Simcast. Hopefully our luck can be as good as last round, but I'm not sure it will be because this team is a lot tougher than the Memphis Grizzlies. And unfortunately, we do end up getting knocked out here 122 to 103. LaMelo Ball being the highest scorer. An absolute great game for him there. But we just could not get it done. It is what it is. Checking out the finals here since we are on the sidelines. Philadelphia 76ers up against that Luka Doncic-led Dallas Mavericks team. So let's see how this one plays out. I'm assuming Luka and the guys will get it. But the Sixers actually come back 2 games to push it to 7. And Luka Doncic gets finals MVP as well as regular season MVP. Moving us into year 2 here. The guys are just getting higher up in overall. Now an 84 overall Melo already. And our center position is definitely a little sus there with only a 73 overall center. Giannis Antetokounmpo gets a regular season MVP here in year 2. And of course, LaMelo's brother Lonzo actually getting on the 6th Man of the Year award, with LaMelo making the All-NBA second team in only his 2nd year in the league, helping lead our Warriors team to the 3rd seed in the Western Conference, already dropping over 20 points per game. This kid is absolutely insane already in this sim. Looking at our starting lineup here, we added a actual big man apparently at some point in the season in Jakob Poeltl, so that is big to actually have someone that can grab these boards for our absolute dead-eye shooters. First round matchup up against the bubble gods that are the Phoenix Suns, a pretty similar team to what they've been working with, but plus Steven Adams. And wow, a tough one there. Huge game there from Devin Booker, dropping 29. Clay drops 26. We cannot get it done. Getting routed 4-2 in the first round by the Phoenix Suns. That's big tough. Phoenix Suns at least end up making it to the finals, so we don't feel as bad up against the Atlanta Hawks and Trae Young. So let's see how this one plays out. Kind of an interesting playoffs right here as far as the finals goes. And it looks like it's going to be a pretty easy dub for the Hawks as they are up 3-0. And wow, I spoke too soon. They blow a 3-0 lead, and Devin Booker gets Finals MVP. A now 21-year-old Melo up to an 87 overall already, which is insane. This is what the squad's looking like. Definitely not too bad. Giannis gets MVP right there. And Melo yet again having a huge year, making the All-NBA third team. And I noticed he is now an 89 overall. Somehow we only ended up the 8th seed in the Western Conference this year, which is kind of disappointing. 19.1 points per game for Melo and 9.8 assists per game, almost averaging a double-double already in his 3rd season. First round matchup up against Anthony Edwards and the Timberwolves. Definitely a kind of bittersweet one as he was drafted number 1 and Melo was drafted number 2. But we'll see how it goes. We are down, so we're going to hop into Simcast and see if we can pull it out here. And it's not looking great for us right now as we end up losing that one by 2. Getting knocked out in 6. 34-point performance from Melo, trying to put it on for the Warriors, but could not get it done with D'Angelo Russell and Anthony Edwards absolutely popping off in that game. Finals here. Paul George and Cade Cunningham on the Spurs up against Trae Young's led Hawks. Let's see how this one plays out. Definitely a tough series, and I think the Spurs are going to take this one. A 4-0 sweep. Cade Cunningham gets Finals MVP. Moving us into year 4 of the sim, LaMelo up to a 90 overall with a 97 overall Steph still. This team definitely not looking too bad. We yet again have a decent center there, 78 overall. Could be a lot worse. Giannis gets MVP right there. And our guy, Daniel Oturu, I believe that is, our center, actually got Most Improved Player of the Year. Of course, LaMelo making yet another All-NBA team, but somehow only leading us to the 8th seed in the Western Conference yet again, despite a 26-point per game performance on the season for LaMelo. A tough scene. And as you can see, he did get Most Improved Player of the Year, going up from a 78 to an 80 this season, which I can't complain about as well. So in the first round here, we have a matchup up against the Denver Nuggets, who are using that weird lineup where they have Bol at small forward that they used in like those preseason exhibition games or whatever you want to call it. It's definitely a difficult task to have Clay trying to guard Bol, so I'm assuming it's not going to go so great for us, but we'll see as we actually are out to a lead here to tie it up to maybe go to 7, and it is good there, so we will end up going to Game 7 with this Nuggets team that has Bol, the god, at the small forward position, but unfortunately we do end up dropping Game 7. Steph doing his thing, a double-double there from LaMelo Ball, but this is not our year. It is what it is. Nuggets with Bol at small forward up against the Hornets here with James Wiseman and Rudy Gobert as their big men in the finals. So I'm assuming Rudy Gobert and James Wiseman will be taking this one, and they actually do in 5. Let's see who gets Finals MVP. Actually, Devontae Graham getting it. That's kind of not what I was expecting, but nice. Moving into year 5 of the sim, the year is now 2024, and LaMelo Ball is now a 92 overall. Yeah, this is crazy, honestly. We have a lot of shooters on this team, and they're definitely getting better and better. Giannis Antetokounmpo gets regular season MVP, and LeBron James Jr. now getting Rookie of the Year. He is in the league now, by the way. Second overall in the West this year, which is a huge jump, honestly. 23.3 points per game on the season for Melo, shooting about 44% from the 3, which is not bad. First round matchup, this is a deadly Rockets team. I'm surprised we beat them with such ease. Russ, Evan Mobley, Amani Bates, and James Harden all on the same team. I'm just happy we came out of that like that. Second round matchup here up against a Cade Cunningham-led Spurs team that are up on us 3-2 here in the second round. So let's hop into the Simcast and see just how this one plays out. I really hope we can take this one. We are up 92-85, and we do end up taking that, moving us into a Game 7 here. And in Game 7, we're up 114-113 with about 54 seconds left in this one. So let's see what happens. With the shot clock kind of depleting here, Curry just throws it up, a brick. We get the board though, and it is blocked out of bounds with about 20 seconds left here. We only have like 2 on the shot clock. A little step back by Curry, and it is no good. Giving the Spurs the ball with the shot clock unplugged. All they need is a bucket, and they cannot get it done. Melo grabbing the rebound, and getting to the line. Of course, hitting his first one, and boom, hits his second, putting us up 3 with only about 3 seconds left in this one. They throw up a prayer, but thankfully we do come out of this on top, and we will be moving on to the Western Conference Finals after a hard-fought Game 7 there against Cade Cunningham and the Spurs, where we're going to be meeting D'Angelo Russell and Anthony Edwards and the T-Wolves yet again. A very tough matchup for us last time, and hopefully it goes better than it did last time. But unfortunately, it definitely does not, as we get clean swept 4-0 by them. Huge game there from D'Angelo Russell. That's tough. Magic team will be facing them in the finals here. A Magic team of Fultz, Jonathan Isaac, Aaron Gordon, Vucevic, Mo Bamba, and Zaire Williams. So let's see how this one ends up going. A back and forth series so far. Going to Game 7, and in Game 7, Anthony Edwards ends up clutching up, getting Finals MVP, moving us into Year 6. A now 93 overall LaMelo Ball, still so young. Only 24 years old already. And let's see how this one plays out. Giannis gets MVP of the regular season here. And to take a look at the standings, certainly to my surprise, we only get 39 wins and miss the playoffs this year, despite a great year there from LaMelo and Steph, both putting up over 21 points per game. Still was not enough, apparently. Watching the finals from the sidelines here, the OKC Thunder up against Colin Sexton and Darius Garland-led Cavs. And let's see how this one ends up playing out. Just move us on to this next year as fast as possible so we can try and get some dubs. SGA getting himself a Finals MVP. Team very much similar, so let's just hop into it. We're trying to win a chip here, boys. Giannis gets MVP yet again. Looking at the standings, and don't tell me we missed playoffs 2 years straight, and wow, we do, with only 35 wins, 27.5 points per game, and 10.7 assists per game, and 7.4 rebounds per game from LaMelo was not enough to get us a playoff spot, man. A tough scene. Ja Morant adds Michael Porter Jr. and Bradley Beal to his Grizzlies team, and their sixth man is Mikey Williams up against this Hornets team, and it's probably a GG for this Hornets team. That is a stacked Grizzlies team. I don't know how that even happened. Grizzlies obviously have Rudy Gobert and James Wiseman as well still, but wow. And the Grizzlies, whoa, the Grizzlies lost that series in 5 with that stacked team. That is crazy to me. James Wiseman gets Finals MVP. Guess he really stepped up. Moving us into Year 8 here. You know, we no longer have Steph, and we no longer have, well, Clay's here still, but he's only an 80 overall. So he's really not making too much of a difference for us here. So it is what it is. Giannis gets MVP yet again. Our guy, Melo, is going to have to step up a lot if we even want to make the playoffs here. Only about 30-some wins. Not looking great. Melo almost, wow, Melo is doing his thing. 28.4 points per game. Shooting 43% from 3. With 12 assists per game and still not getting us into the playoffs, man. Timberwolves with Anthony Edwards up against the Detroit Pistons with Jalen Johnson and Elijah Fisher here in the finals. And they go up 3-0 and cleanly sweep them. Anthony Edwards gets yet again another Finals MVP. Moving us into Year 9, where LaMelo is back at his normal position, obviously, at point guard. Since Steph is not here, might as well move him into his more natural position. We now have Brandon Clark as well. And boom, at his natural position, LaMelo gets himself his first regular season MVP. And with that, he also boosted us to the 2nd seed in the Western Conference, dropping 31.9 points per game and 13.5 assists per game. He absolutely popped off to get us in the playoffs this year, man. You gotta give him his props. A fantastic season by him, but it might be hard to keep that up in the playoffs because he is pretty much our only guy. Monty Bates and Evan Mobley here. Of course, we have some side pieces, but no one is going to be, you know, handling the load as much as LaMelo will be himself. And it's not looking great, as we're going to get bounced in the first round yet again by Evan Mobley and Amani Bates this time, man. Tough scene. Timberwolves make the finals yet again here with Anthony Edwards, which is just insane. He's been having a fantastic career, two-time NBA champion, trying to make it 3 here already in this sim. Wow, they have Cade Cunningham as well now? That is crazy. Up against the Bulls with Chet, and it is definitely going to be a tough matchup. So let's see how this one plays out. And it is back and forth, and the Bulls end up clutching it, not blowing a 3-1 lead, coming out on top in 7. So I'm assuming that Chet probably got he probably got the MVP, but it was actually Kobe White, surprisingly. Moving us into year 10 here, LaMelo up to a 90 overall, doing everything he can for this Warriors team to try and win, man. But it's just not happening. A one-time MVP, 6-time All-Star already in his young career, man. So let's see how this one plays out. Anthony Edwards gets regular season MVP here with 35.6 points per game on that T-Wolves squad. Checking out the standings, and we slip into the playoffs going 41-41. And I would assume that's still a lot of part by LaMelo, putting up 29.4 points per game, 11.8 assists per game, and obviously shooting extremely well. Second highest scorer being Wiggins, dropping 20.2 a game. First round matchup, a very tough one up against the Dallas Mavericks, man. And despite 32, 7, and 15 from LaMelo, we still get bounced, man. Tough scene. Finals here, the Kings up against the last year's champs in the Bulls. Let's see if the Bulls can repeat or if the Knicks upset their chances. The Kings upset their chances, and the Kings do, with De'Aaron Fox getting an MVP. Moving us into year 11 here, and as you can see, the Warriors made the executive decision to trade LaMelo. His time there was up, man. He did everything he could for the team. He is now 29 years old here. And we're going to be moving him back to the 2-guard for the time being because he has Ja Morant on a 1-year contract here. So let's see if he can get himself a ring here, man. Looking at the standings, we only finished about the 6th seed, which is kind of crazy, in the Eastern Conference. Looking at the stats from the season, Melo putting up 27.3 points per game, not having to do as much here with, of course, Ja Morant putting up 26 a game. Definitely a huge help for him and a huge factor as to why they can win more games here. First round matchup up against the Pistons. We find ourselves down 3-2. Of course, going to hop into Simcast, man. Back in 4th game here. We're starting to pull away, thankfully. We really desperately need to make it out of this first round, boys. LaMelo doing his thing, helping us out a ton. Moving into Game 7 here, we will be hopping into Oh, no, we're not hopping into Simcast. We just simmed it. 35 points there from Melo, 34 from Lions, helping us move into the second round up against the Charlotte Hornets, who have won a chip in this, who have Miles Bridges, James Wiseman, PJ Washington, and Nico. Not a easy series at all, man. Very back and forth. We find ourselves down 2-1 early in this, but we do get a game back. Find ourselves down 3-2. So, of course, we're going to hop into Simcast and see how this one plays out. We do take that, moving it into Game 7 here, taking that one by about 11 points, clutching up. Let's just hope we can really clutch up here, though, in Game 7. It goes into overtime. We are up by 3, and it looks like we are going to take that 128-124. A 33-point performance for Melo, shooting 9 of 12 and 4 of 5 from 3. Absolutely showing he wants it. Eastern Conference Finals matchup here up against the Pacers. And this Pacers team does not look like all that much of a threat compared to the teams we've already faced. And boom, we knock them out in 5. Ja Morant, huge game. Melo, huge game. Moving us into the finals up against last year's champs, the Kings. And let's see what happens. We're up 3-0. And we hop into Simcast with a huge lead, 146-115. And we are going to be taking it. LaMelo finally gets himself a chip. It is not in Golden State, but it is a chip regardless, man. He put on for Golden State. He did as much as he could there, and now he goes away to the Wizards and finally gets himself a chip. Let's look at that box score from that one and see just how it actually played out. And I'd say a lot of that is going to Ja Morant dropping 45, but 22 right there from Melo as well. Who will get Finals MVP? Ja Morant or Melo? And thankfully, it is LaMelo locking up, getting a championship and Finals MVP there in year 11. Moving us into year 12, our guy finally got one of the biggest accolades he can possibly get at a 97. And now that Ja Morant is gone off that one-year contract, he is going to be moved back to his natural position at point guard, playing alongside Isaac Okoro and Mitchell Robinson. So let's see just how this year will play out, boys. I'm very excited. Cade Cunningham locks up regular season MVP here with 31.8 points per game and getting it done with the assist as well. James Wiseman gets Defensive Player of the Year, and we lock up the 6th seed for back-to-back years. Almost 30 points, actually 28.3 points per game and 10 assists per game for our guy Melo. We did apparently add Tyler Hero at some point during the season. First round matchup up against the Bulls. Definitely not an easy one, as they do have Chet, Terrence Clark, Kobe White, and Lauri Markkanen. Going to Game 7 against this team, tied up at 112 to 112, 4 seconds left. Our defensive possession here. Can we clutch up? Whoa, that is not good, boys. We are down by 2 here, 114 to 112. Only 3 seconds left in this one. Not really sure what LaMelo's game plan was there, but throws up a contested 3. Not really sure why he did that, but it is what it is. And after a championship year, that is how we go out in the first round. Not what you like to see. Pistons versus the Kings here in the finals. Obviously, we dropped off the Kings last year, and we did go to 7 with this Pistons team in the first round last year. So honestly, I think it's anybody's series. Would give the edge to the Pistons, though, who are up 3-1, and they end up taking it in 6, 4-2 here. Definitely a pretty good year there for Elijah Fisher. Moving us into year 13, up 96 overall here. Pretty decent squad still, honestly. As long as we have like 1 or 2 decent role players, we should be cool. Ending up as the 3rd seed in the East. You love to see it. 54 wins, 28 losses, 30 points per game on the season for Melo. Of course, a double-double as well. Shooting 46% from the 3 this year. Huge, huge, huge. Now our first round matchup yet again is a tough one, up against a team that did just win the championship last year and took us to 7 the year we won the championship. So it's not going to be an easy one. We find ourselves up 3-2 in the series, but I would assume this is going to go to 7. It's going to go to 7, boys. And in 7, we go to Simcast. A very, very tight game here. We take it 116 to 115, clutching up. Moving on to the second round here, up against the Philadelphia 76ers. I really hope we can take this, because that was a huge battle in the first round to be up against. So hopefully it was worth it. We're up 3-2 here. And we are yet again going to another Game 7, man. We're always going to Game 7s. And in double overtime, we end up losing by 4, 165 to 161, man. Tough scene, 41 points there from Melo. Did as much as he could. That 76ers team ends up moving on to the finals here, up against RJ Barrett, Cade Cunningham, and the Clippers, man. Not an easy matchup for either sides. Should be pretty even. As you can see, back and forth series, going to Game 7, and boom, the Sixers end up taking it in 7. At least we ended up losing to the champs in that year. Moving us into year 14, a now 32-year-old LaMelo Ball, 96 overall, alongside a 90 overall Isaac Okoro and a 92 Mitchell Robinson. Not too bad. So in year 14, Cade Cunningham ends up getting regular season MVP here with the Clippers yet again. And we finished the number 4 seed, only 1 win behind the Detroit Pistons with 52 wins. Not bad at all. 29.1 points per game and a double-double, of course, for LaMelo on the season. First round matchup, we are going to be finding ourselves up against the Philadelphia 76ers, who did drop us off and win the championship last year. Why do we always have such tough matchups early in the playoffs, man? We do end up folding and losing 4-2 to them. Bulls in the finals here, up against an Evan Mobley and Amani Bates-led Rockets team. The Bulls are up 3-0 and 4-0, taking it with ease. Moving us into year 15 of the sim. 96 overall LaMelo. Building up those accolades, Let's see how year 16 plays out. Mikey Williams getting his first regular season MVP, I believe, with that Memphis Grizzlies team he was on earlier, leading the league in scoring for the year. 30.5 points per game and 10.6 assists per game for Melo. And definitely a tough scene. Do we still have Mitchell Robinson? Or is Mitchell Robinson gone? Because I did not see him as far as our top scorers go. Wizards, we do end up taking that, thankfully, 4-2, which is definitely nice. Second round, we're up against Chet and the Bulls yet again, the #1 seed, man. It's not going to be an easy one, and it's going to be tough. This team is very, very good. We're down 2-1. We go down 3-1, man, and it's not looking good. Unless they blow a 3-1 lead, we get 2 games straight, and wow. The Chicago Bulls blow a 3-1 lead in the second round, helping us advance to the Eastern Conference Finals. Chet dropping 27, but a 38-point performance, going 12 for 19 for LaMelo Ball, keeping us alive up against the Philadelphia 76ers, who somehow always give us so much trouble here in the Eastern Conference Finals, man. Hopefully we can pull it out and finally make the finals yet again. We're up 3-1. They're getting some games, and unfortunately we are going to Game 7, where now we blow the 3-1 lead, man. You hate to see it. You honestly do. LaMelo doing everything he could in that game. Watching the finals from the sidelines yet again. Philadelphia 76ers will be up against the Houston Rockets here. So let's see just how this one plays out. Who ends up taking it home? Imani Bates and the Rockets or the Philadelphia 76ers? And pretty easily the Rockets there, with Imani Bates getting Finals MVP. Moving us into year 16, and Mitchell Robinson is still with the team, but I guess he just had really, really low scoring numbers last year, I guess. LaMelo Ball gets a regular season MVP here, putting up 37.7 points per game and 10.6 assists per game, man. Huge year for him. We are only the 6th seed, though, despite that huge year. Wow, man. He almost put up 40 points a game, 37.7 points per game, and our next highest scorer only had about 14.8. That is a huge carry yet again by Melo, man. It's a shame because his teammates never step up for him. First round, we're up against the Pacers, and yet again, a tough first round, man. We end up getting 4-0 swept by the team that ends up going to the finals here, up against the Clippers. And it looks like they are going to take the L. The Clippers defeat them 4-1. But we're always going up against a team that makes it to the finals really early, man. It stinks. Moving into year 17 here, the team around me is getting worse and worse. So Melo is going to have to just keep getting higher and higher scoring numbers to keep this team in it. Melo getting back-to-back MVP season, putting up 34.2 points per game on the season, man. We do make playoffs, but not a great seed once again. Next highest scorer on the team only has 15.5 points per game. It is a tough carry out here for Melo, man. First round, who are we going to be up against? As we are the 4 seed with 50 wins. We're up against the Orlando Magic, obviously the number 5 seed. What is this team looking like, though, is the real question here. Zaire Williams is probably the biggest name on it, and we just got dropped off by them 4-2, man. It is a tough scene. 29 and 11 assists there for Melo was not enough to get it done. Pacers up against the Clippers yet again, back-to-back years here. Will the Clippers get it again, or will the Pacers come back? And it's looking like the Clippers are about to go. Oh, I was going to say I spoke too soon. That was about to be a 3-0 lead blown, but Cade Cunningham clutches up and does not let it happen. Moving into year 18. A now 93 overall Melo is the highest overall on the team still, and probably still going to be taking an absurd amount of the workload. He puts up 25.6 points per game, even though he's hitting that regression. And Ja Morant came back to team up with us, despite him also being an 86 now. but we didn't even make playoffs. Bulls versus the Clippers in the finals here. Will the Clippers get yet another finals? And I believe that's 3 back-to-back years that the Clippers just won the finals with Cade Cunningham, which is definitely insane. And as you can see, a lot of guys are retiring. You saw Luka Doncic, Darius Garland, Cade Cunningham, a lot of guys retire there. And in year 19 of this sim, LaMelo's still hanging in there at a 90 overall. Still trying to get it done for the team to try and get himself a second NBA championship, man. But do we make the playoffs? That is the real question. And we do. We sneak in there as the number 8 seed, which could be worse. Still putting up 24 points per game at the age of 37. He is definitely getting it done. First round matchup up against the number 1 seeded Bulls. And really no surprise there as we get 4-0 swept. That Bulls squad making it to the finals here up against the OKC Thunder. And I'm assuming the Bulls should take this as they are up 2-0, 2-1, 3-1. And the Thunder actually had a little bit of a comeback, but they cannot take it. Moving us into year 20 and now 87 overall, Melo still leads us to the 3rd seed and putting up the 2nd most points on the team at 38, still averaging over 20 points per game. First round matchup here up against the Bulls yet again, man. Always have to get a first round tough matchup. Obviously, the team that knocked us out last year and the former champs, but we 4-0 sweep them. Not sure how that happens. We will take it, though. Second round, we beat up on the Celtics 4-1, moving us on to the Eastern Conference Finals here in what is probably LaMelo's last year playing. So let's see if we can clutch up and maybe get him another finals here. And unfortunately, we end up losing that 104-102, man. 24-point performance there from Melo. Just was not enough. Still a great finals playoff run in his final year. Magic up against Anthony Edwards and the T-Wolves here. And that was a 10 out of 10 voice crack. Timberwolves there get another finals. Anthony Edwards getting finals MVP. And we're moving in to year 21. I can't believe Melo is still playing here, man. Do we even make the playoffs here in year 21? We do not. Melo still putting up 16.6 points per game at the age of 39 now. See all those accolades. It's probably the end of his career, man. That's probably where he's going to end accolades-wise. Suns here up against that Magic team in the finals. And it's looking like the Suns will be taking this as they're up 3-1. But the Magic come back from a 3-1 lead. I always jinx that, man. Looking at the Hall of Fame inductees here, LaMelo finally hangs it up in 2041, man. An easy Hall of Fame player here. We're going to look at the jersey retirements, and I'm going to let you guys look at the stats. They are very, very impressive. A great career here by LaMelo. Not too much winning, although he did put up amazing numbers throughout his entire career and is one of the best NBA players that we've ever seen. If you guys made it this far throughout the video, as always, comment GOAT, G-O-A-T in the comments so I know you're a true Bean Squad supporter. And let's try to run this to 100 likes so I can drop this Anthony Edwards career sim for you guys. I hope you all enjoyed this video and have a fantastic day. Peace out. Bean is out.